Hi, welcome to my channel Handmade in Marbella. My name's Jeanette. This is episode 6 of my Granny Square series, and in this video I'm going to show you how to crochet a circle and then turn it into a square to match the same size as all the other squares in this series. I'm using an Aran weight yarn and a 5mm hook. The yarn I'm using, all the colours, are listed in the description below, as well as a link to where you can purchase the yarn. It is an affiliate link, so I will earn a few cents if you make a purchase through this link, but you won't pay any extra. I will also be using UK terms throughout this video, so where US terms differ I will write them at the top of the screen and also in the description below. So we start with a slip knot and 4 chains. And then we join into the first chain to make a circle that we're going to work into. So we start with a UK double crochet and chain, and then we need in total 12 treble crochets. So the first double crochet and chain counts as the first treble. We need 12 in total. So to join, we want to make a more or less invisible join, so it's not obvious where the circle starts. So pull up the loop a little bit, take out your hook. Keeping the yarn behind, we need to put our hook backwards from the back of the work, but into this loop that's at the top of the first treble crochet we created. So put the hook through the back. The loop we took off, we need to put back on the hook and pull through from the front to the back. Pull it up a little bit so it's all level. Don't pull it too tight or else it'll be difficult to get your hook in for the next stitch. And then in the same space from the front, we now need to make a double crochet and a chain. Now when we make a circle, we need to make, in each of the 12 treble crochets, we need to make 2 treble crochets. So this counts as the first, so in that same space we do another treble crochet. In the top of the next one we do 2 treble crochet. And again in the next one, in this space, we're doing 2 more treble crochets. So we do that all the way around. In every treble crochet we do 2 more treble crochets, so we're going to end up with 24. So you can pause the video here and I'll meet you back at the end. So we get all the way around, and this is the last space. So 2. This one is a little bit more tricky to get into because it's of the way we created the stitch. We put the 2 treble crochets into that last space. So we have in total 24 treble crochets on this round. So we're going to join in exactly the same way. So take your hook out of the loop, insert the hook from the front to the back, making sure you keep this yarn behind and the hook over it. Put the hook through from the back to the front, put the loop back on the hook and pull it through that space, and then just pull it up to tighten it to the right tension. And the same again, a double crochet into that space and a chain on the top to make the first treble, and again in the same space another treble. Now we need to increase on this round again, but we don't need to double. We only need to increase by 12 more, which means that we put 2 treble crochets in the first space, only 1 in the second space, In the next space we put 2 treble crochets, and in the next space we put 1 treble crochet. So if we do that all the way around, by the time we get to the end we'll have 36 treble crochets. So pause the video again here and I'll meet you back at the end. So when we get to the end, in the last space we only need 1 treble crochet. Again, it can be a little bit tricky to get in, especially if you pull the stitch too tight, like I did. So double check that you've got 36 treble crochets, including counting the first double crochet and chain as the first treble crochet. Make sure you have 36 treble crochets, because if you don't, the next part won't work. So you need to correct it and make sure that you did alternate 2 treble crochets, 1 treble crochet, 2 treble crochets, 1 treble crochet. When you're sure you have it right, then we need to cut the yarn. This part can be a little bit scary because we haven't joined it up yet. So we cut the yarn and pull that thread through. Don't worry, it won't fall apart. And we're going to now fasten it off to stop it. But you see, it's not coming apart, it is held together. And now we're going to fasten it off properly. So you need to take a sewing needle and using this end, we need to put the needle through this stitch where you would crochet next. We just thread the needle through, pull the yarn through, and then the yarn then goes into this stitch, the last stitch that we had. So put that through there, just under the 1 loop, and come out the back, and then just pull it up, just so you have the right tension, so that you can't tell which stitch you just did. That way you have an invisible join. And then very carefully, without pulling that stitch into a different tension, just thread the needle through the back just to tie off. Just keeping an eye on the tension. Make sure you've pulled it up enough, but not too much. And then just go through a few times just to make sure it's not going to come undone. I usually go 2 or 3 times in opposite directions. And then just cut that yarn. And there we have a circle with a virtually invisible seam. Now we're going to turn it into a square. So we take the next colour and we're going to do a standing treble stitch in any stitch you like, it doesn't matter. But we're only going to work into the back loop each time because we want this circle to have a raised edge. If you see in this one, you can see the front edge all the way around, so it looks slightly raised. And we do this by just stitching into the back loop each time. So a standing treble into the back loop of any space. It does go a bit loopy, but once you've got all the way around, it flattens itself out, so it's not so obvious. So we do 3 trebles, like in a normal granny square, but we need to do 3 trebles. Now we're going to count 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3 stitches. In the 3rd stitch, we're going to do a double crochet, not a treble crochet like you would normally would, but because of the way the circle goes around, we need to do a double crochet here to make it level. 3 double crochets in the same space. We count 3 again, 1, 2, 3. In the 3rd one, 3 more double crochets. Then we count 3 again. This time we do 3 treble crochets, always in the back loop only. 3 treble crochets. 2 chains, and in the same loop 3 more treble crochets, because this is going to be the corner of your granny square. And working our way around the circle. Now we need the short stitches again because the circle raises. So 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets in that third space. 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets again in that next space. Three again, 1, 2, 3, and in this space again it's a corner, so 3 trebles, all in the same loop, 2 chains and 3 more trebles. So it does pull that loop quite a lot, but once it's all finished and flattens down, you won't really see that. So again, 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and in here we need 3 double crochets. Count 3 again, 1, 2, 3, 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, here we need 3 trebles, it's the corner again, 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles. Two, 3 again, 3 double crochets, 2, 3, 3 double crochets again, and if we count now 3 spaces, you should be in the same space as you started, so 1, 2, 3. In this, the beginning, so to finish this corner, 3 trebles, and then to close the corner, a half treble into the top of the first treble there. And here we can see that our circle has now become a square. And now to make this the same size as the other squares in the series, we need 2 more rounds of just normal granny square. So turn your work. Start with a double crochet and a chain. 2 more trebles in that first space. And then now to find the spaces is a little bit awkward on this first round. So the first space is here. You can see it by counting your stitches. So in here we want 3 trebles. This is where we did the 3 double crochets. So your space is in here before the next lot of 3 double crochets. So in this space under here we need 3 trebles. The next space is between the 3 double crochets and the 3 trebles we did for the corner. So in this space here, 3 treble crochets. The corner, as always, 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles. So we're going to carry on the same way. In this space we need 3 trebles. The other space is in the middle here. And then this space for 3 trebles in each space. And in the corner 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles. Do that all the way around now till you get back to the first corner. So if you want to pause the video here and I'll meet you back at the end. So now when we get to the end, we'd need 3 trebles in that in the first corner to complete it. And then we're going to join into the first treble we made, join with a half treble. So again, we need one more round, so we turn our work to start, but you can just see that now it's completely square, and you just count to make sure you've got the corner trebles and then 3 more sets of trebles before the next corner. So you should have that on every side, just to make sure you haven't miscounted any of the spaces. And now we're going to do the final round, just the same as any normal granny square. So start with a double crochet and chain, 2 treble crochets for half of that first corner, and then we're going to put 3 trebles in each space. So put 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, and then the corner 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles. So we do that all the way around. So again, if you want to pause the video, and I'll meet you back at the end. So when you get all the way around, we need 3 trebles in that final space to complete the corner. And close the corner, a half treble in that space above the middle treble. And then you can cut your yarn and fasten off. So that's how you make a circle and then turn it into a square, which is the same size as all the rest of the squares in the series, to be able to add to your blanket. In the next episode, we're going to be making this square, which looks like it's just a granny square changing colour on every round, but it's not actually. It's crocheted as a spiral, so you only end up with 2 ends at the beginning and 2 ends at the end. So there's not lots of ends to sew in once you're done. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing and click the notification button so that you find out when the next video is released.